Those opposed? If we could now call to order the Seminole Gas Authority. A roll call, please, Jay.
John Kramer. Here. Susan Hammond.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Here.
Bill Wantland.
Here.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
Chris Anson.
Here.
Terry Thomason.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Gas Authority? If not, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We will now call to order the Seminole Utilities Authority. Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
John Kramer.
Here.
Terry Thomason.
Here.
Chris Anson.
Here.
Bill Wantland.
Here.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move it. Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Gary Houck.
Here. Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Utilities Authority? Under bids on the addendum, approvals and acceptances, number one, consideration and possible action to approve the low bid of $13,827.59 from HD Waterworks for the pipe and appurtenances to extend the water main on North Milt Phillips. This is a budgeted item to be funded from the Water and Sewer CIP fund.
Who
Move its
is-
approval.
Oh,
Go ahead.
let me ask this one question. Who is HD? I mean, where are they? What is that?
It's a company, I believe they're out of Tulsa. Is a bid in there? Stand by, I'll get you an answer on that. The bid sheet
Probably.
was,
But they're out of Tulsa?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'll send you an email if that is not correct.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Bill Wantland.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? If we could now call to order the Seminole City Council meeting, regular meeting. Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason.
Here.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
John Kramer.
Here.
Bill Wantland.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Here.
Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Chris Anson.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Isagadamisi Mishka Hanga Gigodai, Pomokasapka Niquichit Imado, Moment Portalofa Seminole, Moment Poestria Mulgan, Idinokichikidis, Moment Chimi Hisakanamisi, Anagetskas. O God, whose mercies cannot be numbered, accept our prayer of thanks for the city of Seminole and for all our people. Let us love one another, for you, God, are love. Amen.
Under elections and appointments, consideration of possible action to approve the mayoral appointment as recommended by the Library Board of Martha Steger to fill the vacancy left by Jane, who resigned December 31st, 2013.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move its approval.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the council meeting? Don't be shy. Under bids, number one, consideration and possible action to approve the bid of $8,951 from plotterpro.com for a Canon IPF 765 plotter for the Community Development Department to be funded from the General Fund CIP. This is a budgeted item.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number two, consideration possible action to approve soliciting bids for the repair or the rebuild of a Detroit 8V92 motor for unit number E-602 for the fire department.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond, John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number three, consideration and possible action to approve the bid from OK Truck and Trailer Sales for a cargo trailer in the amount of $6,035 to be funded by a Department of Emergency Medicine grant, or excuse me, Emergency Management grant.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number four, consideration possible action to approve the high bid of $375 per vehicle from Kevin Brinker for three surplus Ford Crown Vics, VIN numbers 2609, 4616, and 4617. I think if you look at the pack, you'll see that he by far was the highest of the ones that we got.
Must have been pretty well used, huh?
Yes, that's an understatement.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under Resolutions, 4A, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2014-1, a resolution facilitating public dwelling improvements by the City of Seminole with funding from the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, program of the Oklahoma Department of Commerce.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Anson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under current business, number 5, consideration and possible action to approve the services agreement with Blackboard Connect Incorporated for the Connect Service Messaging System at an annual cost of $5,541.13 to be funded from General Government Contract Services. This is a non-budgeted item.
Mayor, could we spend just a second explaining this?
Please.
Originally, we went out with a system called IRIS. IRIS is an emergency notification system that we had intended to use for notifying citizens if there were water main breaks or various things, tornado warnings even, fires, things that were going to impact citizens. We were supposed to have been able to have on laptops or even pads be able to outline an area and have those citizens notified once we outline that area of impact. We've been, what would you say, Brad? in contact with the company. They've been non-responsive to some of the needs. The equipment has not worked. Well, it's not worked up to our expectations. So we've been very disappointed. We've been with Brad about terminating the contract. I think we've got certain latitude to do that, but it does leave us needing services. In particular, I think we had an experience last week where we had a water main break, and Mike had intended to notify the area, and it wouldn't work. And so we ended up trying to knock doors, and that scared people. They couldn't figure out what we were doing out there. So we would like to go out with this blackboard system. This is one of the ones we initially had considered. We ended up with the Iris system that didn't work. So now we're going to a little bit higher price system in the Blackboard Connect. We're pretty excited. They seem to be much more responsive. The communities that we've talked to about it have been very complimentary. And so we're asking for your permission to hire this new company.
When was the old contract to terminate?
Sorry.
How long was the old contract?
We had another, 2 years on the contract. There were all kinds of things that needed to be done to try to get the system, to try to get the kinks worked out. Ed, I looked at several emails that had just been going back and forth, and nothing had been done by the company. We're going to go ahead and send them our notice to terminate, and just because it's a public safety issue, really don't feel like we have any other choice but to get a system online as soon as we can.
Is that the way the contract reads,
Well, the contract reads that we have to give them so many days' notice officially in writing to their general counsel. The general counsel's not even named in the contract, so we don't know who to send it to other than just the corporation. But one of the things that was required was that we begin the process of working with the representatives to try to work out the kinks. And I know Ed has been, you can just tell by the correspondence, the amount of effort on our end to try to get it fixed. And they're just non-responsive. I mean, I can't explain it, don't know why, but it doesn't work, and we're gonna have to go another way. And yes, we'll probably have to deal with this if they choose to pursue it. But again, I don't know how they would be able to explain their non-performance.
Maybe an answer to your question is, what is our maximum exposure, Ed? Worst case scenario, what are we talking about?
I think it was $3,300.
So as far as documentation, we have all of it documented, where we
Oh, yeah.
tried to get help and all that.
Oh, yeah.
On this, I see it's the price would be for 2,400 recipients, which includes 3 phones, 2 email addresses, and 1 SMS phone per contact. The 2,400, do you know where that is kind of compared to how many we had signed up for the current system?
Yes, we currently have 2,324 people signed up.
So use that number kind of as the.
Yes.
If we go above
We're able
that.
to capture that data and we'll be able to use that Blackboard, so people won't have to re-sign up
Okay.
again, so.
If we go above that, is it $1.91 per contact? Then is that what that?
And this is only a 1-year contract, as I recall anyway, so we're only obligating ourselves for 1 year.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Bill Wantland,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Rick Patterson,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Chris Hansen.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Consideration and possible action to approve the annual site agreement with New Age Project Incorporated to provide food and services to the Heritage House Senior Citizens Center.
This is the one we adopt every year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Bill Watland.
Yes.
Gary Hout.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Hansen.
Yes.
Motion passes.
On the addendum to the agenda, current business number 7, consideration and possible action to approve the contractual agreement for professional engineering services and work order number SEM-14-01 in the amount of $24,230 for engineering services for CDBG grant number 15564, CDBG 13, street resurfacing by Wall Engineering LLC.
What else is involved in that, Steve?
In the engineering or in the project?
In what we're paying for here, the 24,000?
Well, they're going to have to determine the stormwater runoff, for example, the kind of flows and the width and of the street, the depth of the existing bed, we'll call it, and whether or not the treatment of that is going to have to be upgraded to include the fly ash or the cement kiln dust to be ginned into it, how much of that is going to have to be done. This is required by CDBG. It's not something that we can do on our own.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Terry Thomason.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Bill Watland.
Yes.
Gary Hout.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Chris Hansen.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under reports, city manager.
Let's see, did we get number 7? I just want to give you a brief report from the Reynolds Wellness Center. The board has decided to explore the possibilities of expansion. What that expansion looks like has not been determined, but they are looking at potentially a new swimming pool or perhaps another basketball court. They're really not sure. Indications are that grants might be available to expand. They're still investigating whether or not we're going to be able to do it financially to help staff those sorts of activities. So just be aware that the discussion is out there. So if you hear it on the street, you heard it here first. All right. We had a drill scheduled. It was going to be a fantastic thing for us, an active shooter drill. And we expect, I think some of you may have been asked to set in on that, but we're going to reschedule that. We don't have a date yet, do we, Ed? Okay. The plan is to reschedule that and to get even more participation. Maybe it'll be a little warmer and a less ice in this next go. We have some members of the Leadership Seminole, new prospects for leadership throughout our community. If you don't mind, would you mind standing up and let us give you a round of applause? We love new leadership all over the place. Yeah. And by the way, Micah, congratulations on your new house. It's going to be awesome. Okay. I want to remind everyone that we are in some particularly cold stretches. Please leave your water dripping in the evening, and I'm not doing that just because it's more income for the city. Frankly, when those lines burst, it wreaks havoc on our water system. It really drains those water towers, so don't forget to leave those things dripping when it's really, really cold. That's all I have, Mayor.
City Attorney. Ward 1, Susan Hammond.
The sun was out today. You know the old saying, when mama's happy, everybody's happy? Mama's happier today.
Not so festive, Bill Wantland. How are you?
I have a question that's come up. On Hidden Lake Drive, which is the street I live on, there is a light pole that looks like it's a city light pole at 712 Hidden Lake Drive that has been out for some time. We did check with OG&E just in case it was one of theirs, but they say it's not theirs, it's the city's. I don't know if that's true, but it does need to be checked out because it's been out for almost a year.
We'll check on that. I'm not sure that that's correct, but we'll check on it.
Yeah. If OG&E's wrong, let me know, because I'd love to tell them.
Yeah.
Ward 2, Gary Houck.
Just like to thank the citizens, the city staff. We have a great city staff.
John Kramer. Surprised me just. Ward 3, Jeff Griffin.
I will say, Bill, I had someone call me on some lights. I got ahold of Mike Grant, and he called OG&E, and they got it taken care of really quickly. So he's a good
Okay.
resource to call.
Good. Good.
Terry Thomason.
Nothing.
Chris Anson. Dee Dee Patterson.
Well, I have a question also. I've been questioned on the road damage that we had to do on repairing the water lines. Are they planning on putting new blacktop in or coverage on that at some point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Typically, well, our experience has been the soils in Seminole are fairly expansive, meaning that when they get wet, they expand, and when they dry out in the summer, it contracts, and it really does a number on your asphalt if you don't have a very, very solid compaction on the road. What we've learned is the best practice, rather than trying to go in there and compact it with a machine, which really doesn't do a very good job, we end up going back year after year. What we've learned is it behooves us to fill it in with chat and gravel and let them drive over it for several weeks.
Well, they're packing it.
And that packs it down, and believe me, we're pretty diligent about getting back out there and filling it in with gravel as it compacts. If you experience that it feels like a pothole, then we need to know about it immediately.
But I can assure them that it will be done soon.
Absolutely. We'll be on that really fast because it behooves us to do it that way. And then as soon as we get a good compaction, and like I said, it usually around 3 weeks is a good, depending on the amount of traffic, is a good number. And then we'll go back out and we will re-asphalt.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.